Hello everyone, today I'm just going to be coloring this Miku, and for the most part it's just me coloring hair, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty sped up as well. It's like 10 times speed just because the video would have been like 3 years long and we don't have time for that. Basically here what I did was have a blue base color and then go in very softly coloring the skin with my coloring brush set at like 50% or so, just so it'd be nice, soft, and pretty. Kind of like Snow Miku, even though it doesn't end up being Snow Miku. Um, my brushes, I'll probably link them in the description if you want to see them, because I get a lot of questions like, oh my gosh, what are your brushes? And I was like, well, they're right here now, because I actually made a little page, and I like showed an example of how I use my brushes, so if you guys want to see that, feel free to. Here, I'm just kind of doing very basic colors, like I'm not going crazy yet, and I'm just trying to get the typical feel for the piece. Uh, and there's definitely going to be a lot of blues, purples, and greens, just because, I don't know, I thought it'd be cool. Towards the end, I end up adding more colors as usual, but right now I'm just trying to like have it read well as the colors. And what I've learned is since I always do a lot of colors, the way I get it to still look like, okay, for example, if someone has brown hair, you're gonna start out with brown hair. Like you're gonna color it in, like have the base color, have the shading brown, and then you can go back in and add the different colors to the hair. But you don't want to start usually with all the different colors and then go over it with brown, because then it will read more like the original colors instead of the brown. And you want the brown to be the main part, main focus. So even if you saw the character, you would think, oh wow, even though the color is all weird and freaky and has a bunch of rainbow stuff in it, it's still a brown colored, brown haired character. Now with this one, I'm going through and adding a bunch of greens and purples towards the start, even though, yeah, I don't know, I wanted it to be more colorful. Like I didn't want it to exactly read as just blue because I thought it would make it more interesting, seeing as a lot of Miku drawings are just, oh my gosh, she has pigtails and it's blue hair. What do you know? It's pretty unique. But I wanted to go a little bit farther with it and just add really weird, funky colors. And that's what I'm doing right now, just adding like yellows, purples, blues, light blues, and trying to figure out how to make it all work and still make it defined as different hair strands. And it ends up working out pretty well towards the end. I have a lot of like trial and error stuff. Like I don't quite know how I want the hair shape to look or whatever. Like even though I'm happy I did a good line art, because normally I don't. I just kind of, go with the flow. But with this one, I wanted to have a nice line art so I knew exactly where the strands were going to be, and I could add more towards the end if I want to, but I know the basic hair flow of it. And that really helps having a good, clean line art, because then you won't have as many trial and error stuff. And even though I still did, it's definitely less than I would have if I just had a measly little sketch with, like, some lame little pigtails. Like, oh, well, I don't know where they're gonna go, huh? But yeah, I really tried. Um, and I actually liked how the line art came out. I did line art in manga studio, whatever you prefer to say. And I just used the rough pencil instead of what I normally use is just the dark pencil. But for this one, I wanted it to have kind of a natural, traditional look to the line art, just because originally I was maybe gonna do it more like very non-digital looking, but I decided not to because I'm just like, whatever. It's digital. I might as well use my medium to its best. I don't know where I'm going with that. But yeah, going back to why I drew Miku, it was actually a redraw of a piece that I did back in 8th grade. I'm in 11th grade now. So that would be like when I was 14 and now I'm 17, in case you didn't know. I get people asking me that sometimes too. Um, I just wanted to see like how my style had changed, and it ended up changing quite a bit, and I'm happy with it. There's definitely things I want to change. Like I'm starting to go more towards a realistic style, and this, while it isn't very realistic, it still has some characteristics like the nose and kind of the eyes, even though they're very big and exaggerated. I would like my characters to maybe not look so like cute. And I think what makes them cute is I always do the face kind of low on the head, which is fine. It just makes them look a little bit more childish, but it's not, excuse me, it's not really something I want to do. It, like, it's more just a style thing. Like I just do it out of habit instead of like thinking about it. And I would like to have more like defined facial shapes instead of like the same like babyish ones. And while I think it's cute, I think it could be more interesting. And I think style is really just a lot of trial like see what works for you, because I've definitely gone through phases where I'm just like, oh wow, this style is the best one ever. I'm gonna stick with this forever, and I end up staying with it for like maybe an hour, and then I'm like, what was I thinking? And lately, this style has been pretty typical of me. Like when I'm just doodling on my papers at school, it tends to be like very cutesy, very big eyes, and exaggerated, colorful hair. Um, but I would like to, especially if I use a picture, like a reference photo, I tend to like that style more. And those kind of things, like I've posted them on my Instagram and stuff and Tumblr. And I haven't ever done a video doing it. When I'm comfortable with doing it, I might. But with those, it tends to take me a lot longer because I'm trying to figure out like how the heck do I make this translate well without making it look exactly like the picture. And I still want it to have some characteristics of the reference photo, but I don't want it to look like, oh, you just copied that and you added some weird colors to it. I want it to be my own, and I think I'll get there eventually. Like lately, I've been kind of lazy and just like been drawing out of my head, like no pictures. And I honestly think reference photos have helped me way more than anything else ever has. So honestly, like if you're having trouble with drawing, like if you're having art block or something, which I was having for like almost 2 months, what I did was I got some reference pictures that I just really liked, like really cute boys or girls, and I was just like, whoa, really like you, and I would like to be able to draw a person that looks like that, so I did. And I was just like, oh, this actually looks kind of cool, so I just did a bunch of them, and I really liked how the style turned out, and it really helped get me out of my artist block because I I had something else to focus on. Like it wasn't something I just had to make up. Like I already had a picture that I was going for, and it helped a lot to just know like, well, this is probably going to turn out at least decently because I already have a pose and I already have the eyes and the face, and I just have to make it my own in some way. And I think it's a fun challenge, but it's not too like, uh, what's it called? Like degrading, I guess, on your like talents because you're just trying to make something new, but you don't have to think of it by yourself. I don't know. I don't exactly know how to say that. Let me see. Um, I think it just takes off the stress of being super creative because, like, with this kind of piece, like, you have to make up the pose yourself. You have to make up, like, where the hair is going to go and stuff. But if you have a reference photo, you already have a basics for that. And it just helps. That's all it is. And that's honestly when I ever get an art block, that's what I do. I just find a whole bunch of reference pictures and I just try to draw them the best I can. Even if it doesn't turn out good, I know I learned something from it. And that's what's really helped me actually. Like, if I'm in a rut with drawing, I just remember like with each drawing I do, I'm at least getting a tiny bit better. And even if it's not a picture that I particularly like, it's something that it proves that since I can see something wrong with it, that means I've gotten better. Like if you can't see what's wrong with it, then what are you even doing? Like if you think everything you do is so great, then you're not really improving. You're just staying in the same little boat and there's no waves pushing you along. You have to really understand, like analyze each of your pictures, like what about this that I like? What about this would I would do again? And what about this would I never do it again? Because it's completely awful, and I don't know why I ever got the idea to do that. Which happens a lot to me when I look back, like a couple months ago, like some of the pictures I drew. I'm just like, I thought this was good. Other people thought this was good. What's wrong with me? But you live and learn. Um, and I think for the most part, like uh, you should try to make the most positive out of like your improvements and not try to be so negative about it. Like, oh, I do so badly back then. No, you should be proud that wow, you can see that you do badly and you can see that you've actually gotten better. So you should be happy. If anything, I'd be like, whoa, ho, ho. I've actually like been able to see my mistakes and I've been able to fix it, which I think that's cool. And I don't think people should be so negative. Like I've gotten into ruts where I'm just like, whoa, I'm terrible. I hate all of my art. I want to quit. But I don't usually stay in those for very long because I'm just like, well, I've already proven myself that I could get better just by looking at my old art that I've saved. And I think it helps a lot because I don't know, it gives you perspective because like you would have never thought back then that you would get to the place where you are now, and now that you are where you are now, you know that you can get better. Like anybody and everybody can always get better as long as you practice and as long as you want to get better. Because there's certainly artists who just like, oh yeah, I'm fine with drawing little stick figures, hugging. But some people like they just like I will never want to stop improving, and I think that's the best way to be. And I think it's fine. Like if you just draw what you draw, that's what you draw. You don't care what it is. It gets whatever itch inside you scratch. I think that's fine. Like there's nothing wrong with that. And as for me, like for I'm always trying to find like mistakes in my art just so I can make it better. Like honestly believe that anybody can do it. It just takes like a certain mindset, and you can't be negative because I mean, technically you can. Like, you could honestly hate yourself and be like, yeah, man, I hate all my art. All my art sucks, but I'm gonna try to make it better. And I think that's fine. But for me, I try to be positive because when I'm not positive, I get depressed and I end up not doing anything. So I'm always just like, well, this one sucks, but at least the next one has to be better than this crap, right? I hope so. Usually, it ends up being. Sometimes it's just like you have a whole day where everything just sucks, and that by then I'm just like, okay, that's enough drawing for me. I'm gonna go read a book and cry about the book instead of my drawings. So it's all good. And by the way, thank you for watching, and I hope this helped. So bye bye.